Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL FADHILAH binti ZAMRI. I am from Group 4E. Today I will be presenting about agriculture, economic, inflation and corruption in the industry for the subject course of AGR 553, Economics of Agriculture Production. The introduction. We will look through how corruption activities in this country will affect the inflation price of agriculture production groups, and it's been one of the biggest phenomena in the industry. So the prices of agriculture goods rise, and it will lead to the loss of competitiveness from the corruption activities from the related party. So here we will look to the agriculture price inflation data. So the food prices in Malaysia increased by 6.3% year-on-year in April 2022, the least since last June after a 6.9% gain a month earlier. Cost is for milk, cheese and egg 7.0% versus 7.10% in March, while rice, bread and other cereals 6.4% versus 6.9%, fruits 5.1% versus 3.4%. And the vegetable increased from 0.7% versus 3.4%. Food at home 5.0% versus 5.6%, and food away from home 8.1% versus 8.6%. In addition, prices of oils, fats fell by and decreased by 0.4% after edging up 0.1% in March. Meanwhile, meat inflation was steady at 9.2%. So from the data here, we can look the agriculture price inflation, the food inflation in Malaysia. So here is the summaries of the agriculture price inflation for April 2023. For inflation rate, the CPI, the GDP, deflator, producer prices, import prices, and the food inflation that happening in Malaysia right now. Is it true corruption in agriculture relate with the price inflation in Malaysia? So we will look through it. So first, it increased public spending and create inefficiencies in agriculture sector. People, the rakyat, will feel more pressure from their own income to get a better and healthy lifestyle. Second, corruption lead to increase of cost system. So we will look through the mechanization costs that will be need and higher to perform an agriculture activities in Malaysia. Third, the increase of import costs in the agriculture sector will be higher for the goods to be export and import to other countries. Fourthly is the effects of multidimensional of socioeconomic in the agriculture sector. As we can see, the household group of income will make more differentiate because of this corruption happen. The richer will get richer and the poor will get poorer. So the corruption also impact on policy. We will look to the because corruption cause the lower level of transparency in an organization. Secondly, it interrupt in the multifunctional economy for various household group. So the B40 will not be able to get a better choices to get a better lifestyle. So thirdly, it impact in policies such as under industrial policies that allow poly-targeted subsidies, which is mean not everyone will be able to get the subsidies because from the corruption happen in the organization or in the country. So we will look to the corruption in agriculture. It is because from the politician and happening in middleman. The bitter truth that the corrupted politician cause impact on policy and more lower purchasing power for the lower income group. And the middleman will cause a middleman in agriculture sector will make the price of good in agriculture when high and uncontrolled. Furthermore, we will look to the factors of food or price inflation happen in Malaysia. So first, the low production supplies provide from the industry to the needs and demands of the people. So the supply of food grain availability declines due to the corruption or crop failure increases food price inflation. We will relate to the corruption activities from previous slide. And also the aggregate demand curve. So aggregate demand curve, when growing demand for goods or services meet insufficient supply, which drivers to the higher price. So as you can see here, rise in general price level causes of contraction aggregate demands. So, and also we can look at the graph, the fall in the general price level causes an expansion of aggregate demand. So we will look to the corruption factors or the corruption stages that happening in Malaysia. So bribery, as we can see, people with more money, they want more power. And then secondly is the improper influence. Because of they are having their own influences, they want more power to control a thing or industry. So secondly is the misappropriation of public funds, or maybe this is the funds received from the government. So a person or an organization misuse of the public funds for a corruption happening in the Malaysia. Okay, that's all from me, and thank you everyone for listening. Hope to be able to see you soon. Thank you.